Jonas Rex, captain of the 1912 Titanic swim team, ready to abandon ship.
I think one of the coolest things about the Pokemon trading card game is the fact that there are so many Pokemon to choose from. You can find a style, aesthetic, or typing as a whole that really reaches you. One of my favorite Pokemon designs of all time is Marowak, and Big Pikachu up top has given me an outlet to express my love for this Pokemon in the form of this exact combination of Cubone and Marowak. Cubone has the ability Cheering Bone that allows your active Marowak to do 30 more damage when it attacks. This stacks, so in theory, you can have 3 Cubones lending their energy to one Marowak and he now does 30 more damage with each attack. That may not sound like much, but then you get to my favorite card in the game right now. Bone Vengeance Marowak. This little behemoth has a little fee-fi-fo fum in him. For 2 colorless energy, he has the attack Bone Vengeance that does 60 damage and then 120 more damage if there is a damaged Cubone on your bench. This means that, in theory, your base damage output for this Marowak should be 180 damage. When you couple that with the 90 damage we receive from having Cubones in play, this baby giant is now swinging for a whopping 270 damage as a single prizer. Sadly, the Pokemon TCG is a game played over multiple turns, and you do not just win with one big swing. That means we need reliable ways to power up Marowak to swing turn after turn as we Marowak our opponents off of the battlefield. Sorry for the pause there. Immediately, everyone's been jumping to the fighting type support that is released in Mega Evolution. Lunatone and Zoroark seem like an excellent combo on paper because it provides you with a single prize draw engine. You add some Ignition Energies, Hilda, and Risky Ruins to damage our Cubones, then we should be off to the races. That did not work out at all, actually. Relying entirely on Ignition Energies to power up Marowak meant that there would be crucial turns where we did not find one of our 4 enablers and we would fall so far behind that there was no coming back. Although we are a single prize deck, our board can be quite fragile. We're a stage 1 deck and we are weak to spread because we do have to leave damaged Cubones on the bench to maximize our damage outputs. This means that falling behind can basically end the entire game if we don't see the exact card we're looking for every turn. Not a lot of room for error. So how else would we power up Marowak in a single turn if we don't rely on reversal energy because we ideally do not feel comfortable playing from behind in this deck? Our testing leads us to 2 options, Crispin and Mela. Crispin allows us to take 2 energies from our decks of different types and attach one to the Pokemon and add the other to our hand. This is extremely powerful as it allows us to power up Marowak in a single turn and can also get us fighting energies to discard with our Zoroark. Mela, upon having one of our Pokemon knocked out the turn before, allows us to accelerate a fire energy into play and then draw until we have 6 cards in our hand. Consider her a bit worse Raihan that only works for fire energy. These both seem to be essential inclusions, so back to testing we win. The results were awful. Attempting to string together attacks like this was ultimately inconsistent in the late game. If we had Crispin and had already discarded all of our fighting energy to draw, or we needed an attack now and our opponent took the time to set up instead of KOing a Pokemon, thus leaving Mela a dead card in our hand, how could we make this work? All of the tools were here, and every house of cards we built failed to weather the storm. And that's when I had an idea. Ice Rider Calyrex used to be a meta threat that used the max lance attack for 2 water energy, already similar to the 2 colorless energies that we need for our Marowak. The attack read that it did 10 damage, but it also let you discard up to 2 energy from the Pokemon, doing 120 more damage for each energy discarded. This let Ice Rider Calyrex swing for up to 250 damage on a single turn, but it would be left without energy on the following turn. How did we string together attacks back then? Melanie! Melanie was one of my favorite cards as it enabled the entire strategy. Melanie lets you attach a water energy from your discard pile to one of your Pokemon V and then draw 3 cards. Now, Mela is definitely not Melanie. Mela has significant drawbacks of needing one of your Pokemon to have been knocked out on the previous turn in order to do anything. But in theory, she's not that far off. So now, I have to question, what if Mela is not a worse Raihan, but actually a worse Melanie? And what if Marowak is not a fighting type, but actually a fire type? Stripping the deck and leaving a core of Cubone, Marowak, Melanie, and Fire Energy gave us the consistency we were looking for. Being that we were a single prize deck, we often were being knocked out, so Mela was regularly live to save the day. Even on turns where we were not knocked out, Ignition Energy was enough to cover the difference. Finally, things were starting to come together. Now, to flesh out the rest of the deck, we had our draw support Pokemon, Fezandipiti EX and Mew EX. But after quite a few games, we needed a better draw engine. The late game liability of Fez and Mew made it pointless to boast that we had a single prize attacker because we still maintained 4 easy to KO prizes just waiting to be boss tossed and KO'd. Insert a short stint with a Revavroom before we land on our true draw support Pokemon, Ends Zoroark. Its 280 HP makes it big enough to make our opponents work for the 2 prizes on our bench. This leaves us with just enough space in our Pokemon lineup to play Budew. Yep, if we go second, we need to slow our opponents down. Budew is that answer to buy us a turn or two before our opponent gains too much ground on us. Our supporter lineup ends up being 4 Lillies, 2 Boss, 2 Iono, and 2 Mela. Lillies for consistency, Boss to win the game, Iono for disruption, and Mela to string together attackers. Simple, but it gets the job done. Our item lineup is 4 Poffin, 4 Nest Ball, 3 Power Pro, 3 Ultra Ball, 2 Switch, 1 Ash, and 1 Scrapper. The Poffins and the Nest Balls are vital for making sure we always have access to slamming a damaged Cubone onto our bench. The Power Pro are available to help with some math when it comes to mathing, and the Ultra Balls help us find our Marowaks and Zoroarks, while the double Switch is to avoid any retreat lock shenanigans because it's actually impossible for us to attack with the Zoroark. We don't play Dark Energy or any other Ends Pokemon. We're living on the edge with only 1 Ash, but you can definitely find space to play 2 if you need to, and we're playing 1 Scrapper because fuck Hero's Cape. That is all. Finally, our tools, Stadium, and energies are 3 Bangle, 4 Ruin, 6 Fire Energy, and 4 Ignition Energy. Bangle for the math, Ruin to damage our Cubones, Fire Energy for the Mela, and 4 Ignition Energy because Ignition Energy is tight as fuck. Before we get into the gameplay, let me get some text from our subscribers. Dinotology says, a really good tech attacker you could play is Centiskorch from Surging Sparks. Hits for 130 for a single energy and spreads 30 damage counters to all of your bench. Would probably switch your Ace Spec to Precious Trolley and have more Arvins instead of Ionos. Having Trolley means you don't have to play as many Nest Balls and Poffins, which means more room for other tech cards, Premium Power Pro, Air Balloons, etc. Salvatore is a supporter that evolves non-ability Stage 1 Pokemons, so you can have Turn 1 Marowak or Centiskorch going second. Totally agree. These are definitely great techs, and if that's your playstyle, definitely go for it. Unfortunately, not really my playstyle. I do not want to play the Precious Trolley and cut the other things because I am trying to go later into the game and still be able to re-slam these Cubones after using my Ash. I like the idea of Arvin. It just didn't really work out for me personally when I was trying to make it work, but I do hope that each of you guys put your own spin on this deck. You don't have to copy me. I am not the gospel, and I hope that one of you guys can actually win a cup with this. That would be amazing. I'm all out here to see Marowak continue winning. Seol says, I suggest Aloma Lola from Black and White. Good Cubone recovery. Is it Black and White from BW? What set was that? I'm pretty sure. Oh yeah, it was like Black Bolt White Flare, right? Yeah, that. This is actually amazing. Maybe slam an Air Balloon on the Aloma Lola. Every single time a Cubone goes down, you pop it up, bring the Cubone back, maybe get some Jet Energy stuff involved in that. We can probably see a completely different build of the deck. So, you know, let's see what you guys can experiment with the Aloma Lola and definitely get back to me. Zadkiel6539 says, I think that this deck needs Shaman because Wellspring can easily beat 2 Marowaks with 1 hit. Yep, can't beat everything. I definitely agree with you. Maybe finding space for the Shaman instead of the Budew. We can definitely see that. I don't know if Wellspring is still as big of a meta threat as it used to be, but you know, we got to prepare for everything, right? And spread is something that we very easily lose to. Dragapult was a pain, but you know, we did win some of those. I would say it was like a 70-30, like it was a poor matchup, but we still got some wins in there. The Link Hawkins said, would something like Morty's Conviction be a better draw card than Iono since we're combo heavy? I could definitely see that, right? Iono's shuffling all that stuff back. Morty's is going to help us just draw more cards and add on to our hand. The reason that I like Iono's is because if I can get my opponent down to a few cards in their hand and I am going to take a big swing KO with only a single prize attacker, that's less likely that they have boss, that's less likely that they have follow-up, and then if they are going to get into maybe their next attacker is already set up and they come KO my single prize, they're only going to get that 1 card, and that does help us maintain that low hand size. And finally, we have the man behind the mics, Shotsta 1552. Take out 2 fire, add 1 monkey, 1 dark for extra monkey damage with Stadium, or find a way to fit Crispin and some other energy type. Or 1/2 Jet Energy to avoid Saw Block on Fez. Yeah, no, that's definitely back when we were playing Fez. That is the old build. I will have a probably thumbnail on the screen. I don't know if I want to link it in the description. You guys have already seen that video. But we will definitely want to avoid the Saw Block. Hopefully that is not a thing that is still happening. But why would it not? It's probably definitely still good. I've just been out of the game for a bit. Now that we've covered absolutely everything that you could possibly ask for, let's go ahead and get into the game. All right, so first turn, I wasn't talking. I don't know why, so we just went and got that out. But all I did was use the Nest Ball, get the Cubone down, drop the Risky Ruins, and attach Pass. That is probably one of the best openings we can get for this deck. We are playing the Unfair Stamp instead of the Precious Trolley. If we were playing the Precious Trolley build, then that would be the direction that we would want to go. But here goes the Dawn. Cleffa, Charmeleon, Charizard. All right, so if we Iono them, that's going to feel amazing. I don't like going ahead and searching for things before you need them. So that's a kind of an L on their end, if I may say. But if we don't get the Iono, then they're not punished, right? And we only play 2, so it's not guaranteed that we'll find it off the Zoroark. Depending on what we discard with the Zoroark, I like to keep the Ignition Energies, as we only get 4 opportunities to swing with that, so I try to keep those in deck as much as possible. The Ultra Ball could be super useful in getting the Marowak, so probably whatever we top deck, granted it's not just the thing we're looking for being the Marowak, is going to get tossed off of the Zoroark. We'll draw 2 more cards. Hopefully we see a Lillie's and Iono. Oh, they're going to go with the TM Evo route. Going up to Charmeleon immediately, meaning next turn they get a Charizard. With that 7-card hand, they didn't have any other way to get things down. So they're missing out a little bit here. Yikes. Okay, another Ignition Energy. It's going to have to be one. We will lose one of them things, and we're going to lose a lot here, but we are going to be able to attack, and we will get rid of this Charmander, so let's go ahead and do that. Dang, man, that does not feel good. Well, here goes our Marowak. And he should be swinging for 210. We get the plus 30 from the Cubone, and then it is damaged, so that does give us our 180 base power. And there goes down a Charmander. This could be a matchup that we're going to struggle a little bit into, because they are definitely evolving into the Charizard. The Charizard is in their hand. We have a boss that we're probably going to have to toss of this Zoroark to try and find a better draw support. But if this Marowak goes down, that does leave the opportunity for us to go ahead and find an Unfair Stamp. That will then be live on this following turn as well, so it does increase the number of draw supporters we could attempt to find with the Zoroark. We will get a draw for turn, plus the 2 draws that we'll get off the Zoroark. So 3 cards we'll be seeing, and there are quite a few that can help us. We haven't seen any of our Lillie's Determination. We haven't seen either of our 2 Ionos, and we have not seen our Unfair Stamps. So we have options. We do have options. The Zard Brick. All of his 6 energies are prized. Okay, no, there they are. All 3 come down. Countercatcher, interesting. Is he going after the Zoroark? All right, that actually preserves my attackers. I'm kind of okay with this. We do play 2 Switch and 1 Air Balloon, so there is definitely opportunity for us to utilize this to our advantage. Mela would only really be active if something had died. I'm not thinking that we have 2 boss. This does not seem like something that I need to go around hunting for boss for right now. We have the Bangle. Well, let's hold it. Let's let him think that this is not a threat. If we can find Bangle plus the rest of our Cubones plus a Premium Power Pro, we'll be right in the mix. Also, if this dies, we did discard Fire Energy, so this Mela becomes a draw support for us as well. We'll go ahead and put the energy on the Cubone, and we'll be right back in business, despite not having our Zoroark, and actually being down prizes, which I don't think enables anything for us in this deck. We do want to usually be on the front foot, but we can go ahead and get after them. Almost giggitied, that would have been crazy. We can go ahead and get after them with just the Marowak and the Cubone in play. We can honestly draw a bunch of cards, get a bunch of Cubones down. Risky Ruins has not been removed yet, so that's a bonus for us as well. How did this came down on like the first turn, right? All right, sir, enjoy your 2 prizes. We will actually benefit from that interaction because we didn't lose our attacker. One of the things that you want to do against Marowak is get rid of the attacker, and especially if they're playing this build, this Zoroark does not attack. It doesn't do things for you. So why can I not Mela? There are oh no, they're those energies. Yikes. Did we not? Was that a different game? That was a different game. Okay, here's how we're gonna do this. Oh boy, that doesn't feel good. Okay. Well, when this thing dies, then we promote this, use the Mela, draw a bunch of cards. Is that the way? That has to be the way. That's our only chance right here. So we have to do this. So we did not have the fire energies in the discard pile. There was a way we could have gotten some in the discard pile earlier, I believe. Because I put the ignition energy, we tossed it, and we attached the fire energy. Because we wanted to be able to go long term with our damage, meaning that if this thing doesn't die, we could actually just attack again without having to find anything. They're getting really set up over there, but I do believe we can make a comeback here. Losing the Risky Ruin does suck, because now this Cubone that has our damage counter is going to be in the active, and we will need to get another Risky Ruin so we can damage another Cubone in order to make this happen. But I don't think it's over just yet. Like, that's a lot of basics down there, depending on what they have in their hand. They might be trying to do something to us, but this Ravska that's going to become something, that's going to do nothing to us. I'm kind of worried about the Pidgey because, you know, being able to pull the exact card you need is very powerful, but we have a lot going on right here, so I'm not that scared yet. I think now let's thin the deck just a bit. Oh, do we not? We don't have any more all of our Cubones are prized? Oh, brother. Okay, wow. We still have a Zoroark, so let's go ahead and get this down so that we can try and play the game. Wow. It's like, what do we even do here? I think we Budew lock them for a turn. Oh, yep, 20 damage, Budew locked. I love that. And not being able to rare candy means that they actually can't do a lot of... This is fine. We're going to make it through this. This is fine. We need our Sacred Ash so we can get our singular Cubone out of the discard. That feels so bad. That does not feel good. We get our singular Cubone back. So right here, if we actually get Brave Bangle, we can still take a KO. Brave Bangle or Premium Power Pro still gets us a KO, so that we're not all hope is lost just yet. Premium Power Pro will do it. They're on 2 prizes. I think that Iono is going to be a little more valuable. Oh, this Unfair Stamp is going to be fantastic. Let's get this down here in case they try and boss lock us again, which we've seen them try and do. We're going to Unfair Stamp here. I really just want to see that Sacred Ash. We absolutely need the Sacred Ash. This is enough to take a KO here. Hopefully in these 2 prizes we find that, because who would have guessed that all of our Cubones would be gone? Okay, well, there's a Cubone. Now I just need a Risky Ruin. They've gone through what, 2 Risky Ruin? 1 Risky Ruin. All right, so only 1 Risky Ruin has been discarded, unless all 3 cannot be prized because one of those is my Cubone, so they have to be in here somewhere. Perfect. Iono, help me find the cards I'm looking for. Got an Iono of our own. I love that. And we're gonna Iono all these cards right back down. We're right back to it. There's the Risky Ruin that we needed. Perfect. The Cubone that we just got is getting back into action. Love that. Oh, Risky Ruin happened. All right, then we're gonna Iono. Maybe boss KO the Pidgeotto was actually the move, but we got a little overzealous there. My apologies. I don't think I'm going to need this switch because my other Zoroark is dead and they don't have really retreat locking cards. There's no other Cubones in this deck. There's 1 in prizes and there's 1 in the discard. That's what we need the Sacred Ash for. I would love to take this KO and just neither of those what are going to be now 3 cards are Pidgeot, and we'll be okay. None of those 3 cards are Pidgeot, and we might just make it out of this. The boss KO on Pidgeotto would have been the move, for sure. We messed up. We messed up there, but maybe we won't get punished, you know? Okay, they're thinking. They're thinking. They know they're on the back foot right here. Okay, they're gonna boss. They're gonna get the Zoroark. Rare Candy Zard. Is that what those last two cards in their hand are? All right, cool. So they must not have. I mean, either that or they don't care about the Air Balloon. Ignition Energy. We're just gonna go ahead and retreat. Let them know that we can do that. No need for Premium Power Pro on this turn. No need for the Ignition. I'm still looking for the Sacred Ash because there is a comeback over here with this Pidgeotto that is live that we did let live. Actually, if I go trade, I toss this Poffin. Do we find Boss? We do find Risky Ruin, but we don't need that right now because we haven't found Ash. What are the odds that we find it right now and we need it? How many Risky Ruin have we gone down? 2? There's a fourth. There's a fourth. Let's gamble it all on red, guys. Okay, so we did not find it. That's hilarious. Okay, we'll just take the KO here. We just need 1 KO, any KO. So Boss will save us on the following turn, kind of. Okay, cool. There's the last Risky Ruin. That means this is our final Cubone. Uh-oh. Is there a rare candy in their hand? Uh-oh. There was. Wow, they were really close to rare candy Zard right there on that turn where I called it. How many energies have they gone through? 5? Do they even have 2 more? Like, how many does... Okay, well, they had 3 more, so they're playing 8. All right. Arvin? Oh, no, bro. What do they get off of that, though? They can't Ultra Ball and get the Pidgeot, which is good for us right now. They can Super Rod and put stuff back. That's cool. So what I'm thinking is we got to get this Cubone up. We just get a bunch of stuff out of our hand, right? Then where is the Sacred Ash? If this last prize is a Cubone, that means I've just been drawing this whole deck and I have not seen it. All right, let's get down to business. I go Bangle, Power Pro, Poffin for nothing. And let's just look at the deck real quick. What is still in here that we're gonna draw into? There's a Sacred Ash, and then all of our actual Pokemon searches left is an Ultra Ball, which should be fine because we haven't even Zoroarked yet. Alright, I'm liking our odds here. There's a couple Marowaks in there. We're just getting our hand size low for this Mela. There's the Marowak. And we still did not find the Sacred Ash, man. That is so tough. Okay. What do we get rid of here? Because this is not enough. It's only 150, dude. We die from this. Okay. Hold on. Let's think. If we sacrifice the Zoroark, we still die. How did we not find Sacred Ash in this game? Oh my god. Okay. Not once. Guess we gotta play 2. Like, really, we're on the last 8 cards in the deck and we still didn't get there. I can't be that mad at Variance. I'm only playing 1. It's really my fault. But dang. Going out like this is tough. Okay, well, this is how we go out. Amazing comeback. If we literally just found any Cubone, actually, 120 more puts us at 290. We double Cubone. I don't think that that's a lot to ask. I don't think double Cubone is a ton to ask for. Tough, man, tough. Well, GG, Mr. Opponent. That is not the way we wanted to go out. We did we rallied, man. We really rallied. It felt like we had it there. We just couldn't find the final pieces we need, and you know what? That's on me. That's on deck building. Maybe we need to play one more Sacred Ash. Seems like we had a massive amount of Nest Balls Buddy-Buddy Poffins. Maybe we can cut something from there, but you guys let me know what you guys are doing for this deck in the comment section. As you've seen in the beginning of this video, I'll be shouting out some of the comments that we had the last time we were working with Marowak. I think this deck has a ton of potential, and we just got to find the right text for the meta. And right now, going into this Charizard matchup, I don't think that Charizard is unbeatable with the Marowak. I think we got a little unlucky here, but I think that it is a very solid matchup you can play into. Tord Box, you hit for weakness, and if you can keep looping your stuff, I think that's also another solid matchup you can go into. Mega Lopunny is around. That's another solid matchup you go into. You can hit Mega Lopunny for weakness, so you really don't even need to do that much damage, and you're taking 3 prizes. Like, there's a space for this deck, and I think we just need to work together to find it. So go ahead and let me know down in the comment section. And until next time, my name is Jonas Rex. I am your captain of the 1912 Titanic swim team, Abandoning Ship.